we'll take some questions from the floor, and then we'll get on to our conversation. Why not we pick 3 questions from the chat room? Before we pick that, does anyone want to jump the queue and come right in to ask questions?
Hello.
Yes. Can I have your name?
And, my name is Amirul. I've actually posted it on the chat, but I'll just say it anyway. This is for Panir and Mas. I have a question on, from around the world, there are many people who are working in, who have working experience in finance and accounting. I just wanted to know, how common is it for people in finance to have an international assignment? And when these assignments are available, how does administration pick who to choose? Is it based on a certain specialism they have? Or is it just because they want to and the administration picks them?
That's a very good question, Amirul.
Okay, so Amirul, thank you for that question. I hear 2 parts, but yeah, just help me to navigate through the question if I didn't really answer the question accurately. So the first question, is it common for finance in BLNG to go on an international assignment? Okay, let me just answer that simply. So indeed, in BLNG, we do have this international assignment opportunity. Actually, it's not only for finance, but it cut across the organization. So in BLNG, to be able to go for an international assignment, we have a set of criteria. So it's not like everyone can go. So of course, performance is one of the key criteria to be able to be eligible to go for an international assignment. Secondly, there must be also an interest from that person himself or herself, right? Even though, for example, Raimin, he meets all the criteria to go for an overseas assignment. However, if he himself do not wish to go, or has not an aspiration to go, or it doesn't align with his career development, then we will also not force someone to go.
So it's a two-way thing.
Correct. So of course we will then, like myself, I will go around in finance. Okay, is there anyone of you, would like to go for an international assignment? If there is someone, yes, okay, let's sit down. How does this fit into your, long-term career plan? And are you eligible to go? Are we ticking all the criteria required? So this sort of discussion happen. Okay. So maybe on the second one, Amirul, so what was the question?
Well, I think you've already answered it. It's just that how do they choose them?
Oh, okay. Okay. So every time we have an opening, a vacancy, we will post it, and then we will have candidates applying. So what we will do, we will shortlist the candidates. So for example, if there are 20 applicants, we may shortlist, top 5, top 3 to be interviewed. So of course, we shortlisted based on the CV or the resume that was submitted to us. So during the interview, we usually look at 2 areas. So one is in terms of the competency. If I am looking for a controller, for example, so I look for a candidate who have, accounting and financial management degree or academic background, right? So it has to match. But there are other, what do I call it? A finance competency, like accounting and reporting. Does this person have any tax? Tax experience? So these are the type of finance-related competency that we are looking for. On the others,
normally send the people.
Sorry?
Where are the people posted outside of Brunei normally? I know we have Qatar, we have Holland. Where else? Yep.
Oh, so we have, for example, the group in the Netherlands. As you know, Royal Dutch Shell is in the Netherlands. We also have, Oman. We have even in Nigeria, in India. So that's why, like I said, Shell is a global company. Like we even have in Australia. So there are quite a number of places actually, Shaun.
So if you're lucky, you get Holland. If you're not very well behaved, you get Nigeria. Is that how it works?
No, but
Ah,
actually, there are a
Hi.
few people who've been to Nigeria, and actually they quite enjoy it there.
Really?
Yes, and it's always an experience, right? So I think that's the good thing about it. It's as long as you're open to experiences, there's always something around the corner there. And I think going somewhere different, somewhere that you're not used to, out of your comfort zone, also helps you grow as a person anyway.
And Ryan, you were in Holland for 4 years.
Yeah, correct. I
What's
was
it
in
like
a
working in a headquarter?
So I wasn't really in the headquarters. So if you talk about Holland for Shell, that normally is translating to The Hague, and that's why not too far from Amsterdam. For those who are not aware, but I actually got posted to a location which is me and my family. Yeah, so we were about 3 hours to the north of Amsterdam, and a town called Groningen. Um, and that was probably 40 minutes on the border to Germany. So effectively, I was in the KB of the KB location of the Netherlands. And we were probably the only, we were the only Bruneian family, I think, in the north at the time.
I understand you speak very good Dutch.
Uh,
Ja, ik kan spreken Nederlands, maar niet zo goed. That means I can speak, but not so well.
Was it
But
on the job training
pick it up.
that you learn Dutch, or you've always been language attuned?
No, it's something that had to come. It was more of the situation. So the location was not Shell. It was a shared. It was a 50% company, which is called NAM, Netherlands Ardori Maatschappij, and that's it's similar like Brunei LNG. It was a combination all with Shell. So they were the operating environment there where I was in, which was in engineering, reliability, was heavily local, and the locals were speaking Dutch. So lunch was in Dutch, discussions were in Dutch, documentation is in Dutch.
So you were forced to speak the language, right?
So yeah, it's kind of like a you sink or swim kind of thing situation.
Right.
So they can speak English also. They understand. So they can understand what I say in English, but they will reply in Dutch, and you kind of tune yourself in.
Perhaps this is what we should do out to our expat friends that are working here.
So we can do the whole rest of the interview also in Malay, right?
Absolutely. Hey, I have to go through some questions here.
Hi. Hi.
Yes, please.
Yes, my name is Muhammad Ruman. First of all, I would like to thank all of you, Mr. Shaun, Mas, and Rahman, for conducting such a fruitful session. As you know, that most of people around the world want to work in an oil and gas company. You demonstrate every aspect very well. But I want to know about the IT professionals, such as professionals who belong to a computer science or such software related professional. How do you encourage, or how do you demonstrate about the opportunities, especially in a BLNG or other oil and gas companies? So
Okay.
please.
So with IT, I think that's still very important for us, and I think quite important for a lot of companies going forward. Particularly for if you're talking about BLNG, our systems that we run the plant on are on computer systems. Our control rooms, which originally in the 70s would take up a whole house size, has actually been reduced to one room. So you can see the movement of digitization there, and a big push for digitization is what's happening in the Shell world also today. So Brunei LNG will also be moving towards in that direction. Particularly for us right now, though, we are actually supported on the IT front. With people from with our friends in Brunei Shell, who also have a big IT department. So they get in a way seconded to Brunei LNG. So we have an IT department there. But in the future, I would say that a big thing also for Shell itself is actually going into data management and also big data, really analyzing data. So I think there will be opportunities on computer science there. But currently, if you're talking about BLNG and what we have, it's more of an IT department which is supporting our IT services. I hope that helps you in a way, but not too. We're not that fully an IT company. So, but honestly, from the parent perspective, I also have a son, and he's actually interested to go into computer science. So it's something that I'm also encouraging on. It may not directly have a job, in the near future, maybe directly for Brunei LNG but I do know that within Shell, there is a big push towards that direction.